As you can see, it's finally raining in Vermont, surprisingly. And since it's raining, before I leave today to go make some money and work, because I can't work on the bus, I'm gonna take a peep in here, see if it's leaking. Anyways, let's see if we got any leaks down here. There's none on there. I don't see any water around there. See anything up here? Floors look pretty dry. Don't see any wet spots. Don't even see any water down there. No questions, these holes that I just sealed on the outside. Oh, still tacky. I shouldn't have fucking touched that. God damn it. Because I have to go work, so I can't get dirty today. But, yeah, I don't see any leaks as of yet. So that's good. Hello, welcome. I was doing some work today, but when I got home from working, after I made enough money, I came and did some work on the bus. If you can't tell. I pulled all of the fiberglass walling off of this wall, and I've exposed, I think, just about almost all the foam in the roof. Some of it is just metal for some reason, so I don't really know what that's about, but I won't be able to put insulation there. But other bits are all just styrofoam glued in, so I will have to tear all of this out. Not today. I did realize when I was peeling this fiberglass off that the foam was a little wet right here. So I think I'm gonna reseal these windows tomorrow because I'm gonna work on the bus tomorrow. And yeah, we're gonna reseal those. I'm gonna try to do it myself. It's supposed to be sunny and semi-warm out. But yeah, we got almost all the ceiling paneling off. All of this is just metal, so I don't see the point in removing this right now and wasting my time when, you know, there's no foam to remove behind it. I will need to finish up in that corner, but it tucks underneath that panel there, so it's a little hard to remove. But everywhere else besides the back wall is done. The back wall is going to be a little different because of you know, all this stuff going on here, and I still need to get that heater out of the way and the AC out of the way. So that's why I'm kind of holding off on there, but I really do need to dig into this back area so that I can start laying my flooring down, because I want to start in the back to be the most efficient with my foam boards. So I should have almost a whole extra foam board left over because I bought 4, and it should only take about 3 to get through here if I do it right. So I want to get that heater core removed and strip that wall apart before I lay the flooring down. And I also need to get all the bottom area foam out before I lay flooring down as well, so that I can remove any extra pieces of fiberglass that are stuck down there and remove all the foam out of the way so I can, you know, put the new insulation in. We are going to be going to get a door for this. Hopefully it fits up as well as I think it will. The width dimension is like right at it, but the height I have plenty of room to work with. So we'll see how the width does and if I have to do some modifications. But it will be a full glass door. The guy finally hit me back. He said $50 for a brand new exterior full glass door. So that works for me. That's the best price I found for any of the glass doors around here. So we'll be able to fix that floor, put a door in, assuming it fits properly, and then we can actually be ready in that area at least to do the subfloor in that general region. Right now I can't do the subfloor in that area because I need to finish the floor repairing it, but I want those doors out of the way so I don't have to cut new holes and a brand new plate. I still need to get weather stripping. I haven't done anything since the last clip you saw, and I'm not sure when I'm going to be uploading stuff, but you will see when you see. But we're going to get a door today, and this is where I'm at so far with the build. I got the doors back home. I bought two actually. So the one on the bottom is the one I was going to buy. So that's the one I paid $50 for because it's a new door. But it's also extremely heavy, way heavier than I thought it was going to be. And it may or may not fit in that gap. I believe this door is a little bit smaller. I can measure it up. But it also has, it's used, but it has hardware like the hinges, a passcode, deadlock, and a handle on it. So yeah, this one's not as wide. So this one can be a backup alternative. Otherwise, the only problem is it's got frosted glass, so it'd be hard to see out of. But either way, I'm gonna rob the hardware off of it for now, and then maybe tomorrow we'll see if this other door will actually fit in there. And if it does, then we'll put it on. If it doesn't, then we'll consider putting this one on. Pulled all the hardware off, so I got some hinges, screws. I think this does work. The batteries, I think, are just a little too dead to get the motor to actually fully turn. Because it makes noises and it beeps and stuff, but it doesn't like fully turn itself, and it keeps dying. So I think those batteries are just shot, but I think that will still work. The only problem is, will I be able to reprogram a new key to it? It is quick set, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to do it without the original key. Same thing with this. This one doesn't even look like a quick set one. But we'll see what I can do about sourcing keys, if possible. Otherwise, just the deadbolt should work. And I got the doors stood up, so you can see this one is very clear. I could put like a privacy tent on it or something, or tent it a little bit, so that it's not, you know, as glaring, or put a curtain on it. But for driving aspects, having this whole window for visibility with, you know, easily clear view is pretty comparable to that, if not better. Because I don't have, you know, thing in the way. Otherwise, if I do have to go with this one, which I measured it, and that one should fit just barely width-wise, but it is just slightly less wide than the door frame. So hopefully we can get that to fit in there perfectly. This one, otherwise, you know, it is frosted, so you can still see through it. You can see the styrofoam fasten. It's just not as easy to see through it. Yes, that gives a little bit more privacy, but gives less visibility. And it also has like a screwed up part. I guess somebody like tried to drill the deadbolt twice. So there's two passages and then this big ol' gaping crap on both sides. So that is not as nice. This is, you know, nice wood, solid freaking wood on the inside is what the view is. And then the outside is white. So it matches the bus already, actually. But like I said, it's extremely heavy. But, you know, it's probably very sturdy. So today's mission is to seal the windows. It is slightly sunny currently, but it's supposed to be only partly cloudy today. And mid 50s. So as you can see the light coming through on these windows. There's just two of them. I actually stopped pulling the foam out because I knew it'd be easier to do when the windows are out, and I quit making a mess. So I'm gonna clean that up before I take all these out, because I don't want that blowing around and polluting the yard and everything. But we are gonna use this Elastomeric roof patch. APOC 264. It was pretty affordable. I think it was like $6.99 a tube. I got 2 tubes. I think that should be enough to do all these windows. Otherwise, I mean, it's right down But even this one, like you can see, they all need to be resealed. Okay, so we're gonna do them all. We're gonna do those ones last, I'd say. So then when I take those pieces off, I can try to pull that fiberglass off around it. So then I don't have to deal with, you know, loosening them up again to do it over again. Because I'm not gonna stick anything behind these with like wood framing because I don't wanna, you know, deal with that. I wanna make them serviceable, but put my framing around it to make it look nice and work, but not be a nuisance in the future if I need to reseal them or I break a window and I need to pull it out and replace it or whatever. Even though I don't think these frames need to come out to replace one of these windows, I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, we're gonna pull these out. I'm gonna start with pulling out this emergency window because now I can move them, right? I can move them around since I'm pulling them out, like I said. So that one's gonna get moved. This one's gonna get moved. So I'm gonna pull that one out first, and then I can pull another one out to put in its place. And I can just pull that one out, clean it up, get it ready to install into another spot, and get that spot ready for another frame to go in. You know what I mean? So yeah, we're gonna get started on this, start tearing this apart. Hopefully I don't drop any of these. My idea is to open these windows up and stick my arm, you know, to hold it as I undo it to pull it out. And I can do that on both sides. And I can use two hands, and in theory, I shouldn't drop it, and I should be able to pull it out. And once I put it back on, I can snake it through and install it. I hope. We're gonna find out. All right, you're gonna find out today if it's possible to reseal shuttle bus windows as a one-man crew. First window is about to come out. The seal is pretty tight. Somebody's glued it on pretty well, so at least this one does not want to just fall out. I took the frame off. I cleaned up all the styrofoam first before cracking it open so that I get as little crack outside as possible, but the whole top is broken free. Now we just gotta work our way around and not drop the window or break it. And boom, you have a window out. I'm gonna try to work as quickly as possible, but yeah, let's take this one out next, and we'll clean this up first. It's not too bad. It doesn't look too bad. So as you can see, this is just the original gasket that has just, you know, just shrank and, you know, conformed along with the body. And that's the reason why it's not sealing properly anymore. Which is why we're gonna put some sealer on it, but pretty clean surface already. You can see where the overlap just wasn't enough. But yeah, so let's get this going. As I started looking at this window and the gasket, I was like, oh, I should probably take this foam off, and I probably shouldn't, you know, apply that to the sealer to the foam, right? But I started peeling it off, and it peels right off. No problem. So, and it's a very nice clean surface under there, so this should be a lot easier on the window side of things, at least, to do. So that's not bad. And as you saw, the outside of the bus is not too dirty after the rain. The rain cleaned all the windows, all my mirrors, a lot of the outside of the bus, so it was great. I didn't even need to take it to the wash. I'll still need to wash it to get some of the nitty-gritty areas, but I'm gonna peel this off. I cleaned the window up best I could. Now I'm gonna apply the sealant and then I'm gonna put it in. There is still a little bit of residue of the goop from the adhesive from the foam, but there's no foam. I got all the foam off and I wiped it with alcohol. This does have a seal, it looks like, so puncture the seal. And then I'll get the window installed. Hopefully this works out. I'm moving this regular window over to where the emergency one was on the driver's side. The emergency one will get moved over to where it is, so it's the third window down. I got the sealant on. I don't know if I used too much or too little. We're gonna find out. And if I put it in the right spots. So yeah, it's all learning. But we're gonna see how it goes. So here we go. Lined up well. Just me. Screw is holding itself. One screw. Not looking good so far, because, well, again, it's just me. I've never done this before. It does not seem to be sealing up in that corner. There is some sealer coming out around the edges, so we'll be able to like run our finger around and hopefully seal everything. First impressions of the sealer, it sucks. They say it cleans up with soap and water. Yeah, if you scrub at it for a fucking hour, it does. Otherwise, you know, it does not clean up very easily at all. So I just scrubbed at this fucking window for who knows how long, trying to get at least the stuff off the black seal so it's not as noticeable, because I spread it to fill it in, which bad idea apparently. Even though they say, oh yeah, you can use a paintbrush to apply this and, you know, just coat it on where you need it. But no, it's to clean up. So I do not recommend spreading it around. So this next window, if I use the sealer again, I'm gonna put it towards the middle of the edge, try to not let it shift around. You see all the shit around the edges. I cannot get that off. It does not scrub off very easily. Like that, it's not what they say. So that looks like shit, and who knows if it's even gonna fucking seal, because as you saw, it didn't really fill in those corners how I had hoped. So we'll see what happens, but that's the first window in. Alright, so this time I applied the sealer all around the outside first, and then I just put some extra on the corners in the window. So you see if this works. I'm also going to try to prepare a couple of screws ahead of time. Let's see if this helps. I should put those here. I'm going to work with these screws where I can easily access them, but I guess we're going to try this again anyways. Yeah, that's right. So we have the experience running through this one. So now once this gets into place, we gotta just hold it there. Can't let it move too much. We want it semi-centered into the cavity. Nice, guys. Come on. Got that paste moving all around because this thing is going in and out. You can't get the friggin' stay in place. Appears to be sealed all the way around. I'm gonna attempt to clean this shit up again. But this I'm gonna wet this with soapy water and just wipe it down and hopefully not contaminate everything with my fingers like I did last time. Well, my hands are covered in shit now. The window seal still looks like shit because, again, I spent way too much time trying to clean it up and got way too much messed all over when I tried to clean up the excess. So that's wonderful. It's really nice to clean up right after you put it on, but once it's like set for like a minute, it's already fucked. So as soon as it dries out, it's like unworkable, and you have to scrub the shit out of it. But I hope the fucking window is sealed at this point. I don't know if I want to keep doing this by myself. If I can get somebody over here to help me, then I might continue, but otherwise, I don't think I have enough time left in the day to do the rest of these windows, or enough sealer, or enough patience to continue doing this shit. So yeah, that's that. Obviously, the previous method was not working, and I'm even like putting it in the wrong spots, like, so all that stuff close to the edge isn't even touching. And that's what's wrong with this foam seal, is that it's just not thick enough towards the edge. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna apply that sealant right in there. I'm not gonna take the window all the way out, just remove the frame, and I'm just gonna put it, it's really just these upper corners that are the problem. It looks like everywhere else is still sealed and even welded itself to the bus basically. It's just these top corners that have flexed away enough. You can see the shadow. So I'm just gonna pop some Seal It Up in there. I'm gonna clean it up as best I can. Use some rubbing alcohol, and yeah, we'll see if that works. Alright, so we got it in there. I do need to creep it up a little bit further in there, but since this is a spreadable paste, I can just use a scraper or something and just push it in there. You know, see how it's nice and spread in here. You won't see any of this. This will all get hidden by, you know, the framing of the window. Yeah, I can just apply it a little bit further in there, just to get all the way up in there. That should be good. That window is all put back together, so I'm gonna move on to the rest of the windows, get the foam out of the corners, seal them where they may need sealing, and we'll go from there. So I'll do these ones and then I'll move to that side. I guess I won't move that emergency window for now. I'll leave it where it is. I don't really know where I want to put it anyways, because I don't know if I just want to move it over one or if I'd want to move it into this area. We'll see, but I can do that whenever. So I'm gonna move on to these ones, and then we'll go to that side, and yeah. So this front emergency window had this green piece of metal tucked in there because I guess they didn't cut the hole very well, and they really fucked it up down there. There's like a sharp piece of metal sticking up there, like they peeled it away. So yeah, they just did a bad job cutting the metal, I guess. I don't know that I'm gonna put this back in, but I guess we'll just leave it up in the foam there for now. But yeah, that's nice. So we might hold off on this window, move on to that back one. Cause again, I want to move this, but I don't know. I'll see if one of my buddies will come over and help me switch these windows around. Windows are officially done to the degree that I'm doing them by myself. That back window looks fine. The gasket all around looks sealed, so I didn't mess with it. This one had a little bit just in the top corner, as per usual. So I put a little bit of sealant on there, and I pulled all the fiberglass off that was around the window, so the rest of it is, I don't need to pull the frames back off to get anything else off of this area. And another thing with this crap, I lost probably, you know, half the tube or a quarter of the tube, maybe a third of the tube, just blowing out the freaking back of the thing. Good thing I got all of the stuff I need to get done with it, but yeah, that was a big waste right there. So as you can see, it just barely fits, but it does. It doesn't in between the rails of these, but it's gonna get lifted up from there anyway, so that gives me plenty of room up top. I also bought some more 1/8 inch plate. Shit's heavy. For the pieces that I got, it's 40 pounds right there. But I bought that for the stairs. So got the old bus doors off. I just took out that piece of wood holding the bottom, and then the one bolt holding each one on top. So now I'm just gonna cut out and clean up this area. I'm also gonna grind down all this rust that formed, and then I'm gonna weld in these plates. I'm also probably gonna weld this frame in to the actual structure, and then we'll get into mounting the door up. Got it pretty well cleaned up. I'm gonna weld this frame to the bus first, and then I'm gonna weld my plates onto the frame. frame is now welded to the bus. It's not going anywhere. Wipe that dirt off I just put on it, but yeah, it's solid. I got it welded all the way across there. There's a few patches there, all the way across there, down the sides, a few patches across there. So yeah, it's got plenty. There's a few tacks there. All this put together plus the plate on top will be plenty sturdy, I'm sure. I got the hinges mounted. Hopefully it works out. I put them flat up against the face of the door, then screwed these. Yes, this has to open outwards, not inwards, because, well, you know, it's a big door on a bus. But at least it's going to open this way, so it's not going to be like a suicide door on the bus, which I would have been all right with, but... So the door is kind of on there. I mean, the hinges aren't bolted. It is just firmly pressed in there because it is such a tight fit that I can't even open and close it currently. I need to get these hinges routed into the door, but because they kind of protrude too much. As you can see, there's too much of a gap right there. I need a little less of a gap. And these bottom hinges have play. It's just this top hinge that has a problem. It's this upper area that's too tight. The bottom area is fine and actually has some space, but yeah, it's the top area. It's not very square. But just look at that. That fits quite well, I gotta say. It looks very nice, and you see the cabinets in there. Oh, geez. The door is in place. Hinges are screwed in. It does move, and I can open and I can kind of close it. It's very tight, so I need to do some clearancing on that. As you can see, that seam is just impeccable. And this seam is not quite. It's a little tight up top, I'll say. But that hinge is also a little loose right now because I need to get some better screws that are better suited for this application into the sheet metal. So I'll get some better screws for that tomorrow. I just got a trash bag there so it doesn't blow and push the door in too far tonight. It gets a heavy gust, but it's pretty well stuck in there. So yeah, I need to frame out the bottom, which that's basically the size of a 2x4, and I'll replace that gasket. Even though it was new, it's kind of tore up, especially from me carrying it around. And then we'll fill the gap up top. And yeah, this will be a sick window. I don't know if it's inspectable or tempered, but it looks double pane, so it's insulated. But yeah, it looks good. Fits the bus well. It is another new day, and I'm working on the door this morning. It is very close. I adjusted the hinges and put a couple of new screws in there, but as you can see, just a little bit of pressure of me pushing on it, and it does shut. It is rubbing just a little bit, not when it's, you know, here, but just on that leading, you know, that trailing edge right there. So if I had a planer, this would, you know, be a 1-minute job. But I used some sandpaper because, you know, it's a little early in the morning, but it's about 9:30. So I'm just gonna use the saw or the sander real quick just to take down that edge a tiny bit. This is like 60 grit, so it should go by real quick. And I can clean it up by hand with some finer grit, but I'm just gonna take that down just to get it shut nice and smoothly. Door is fitted. I put the handle and the deadbolt on. I don't think this deadbolt is gonna work because I think it's made for the other side, so it only rotates one way. So I had to flip this upside down and with that upside down, this all binds up. So yeah, it's just, I don't think that one's gonna work, but this handle works. And if I do flip this back up, I can just not have the auto, you know, unlock, and I can just use it as a regular deadbolt, but I have a regular deadbolt that I can use. But I got this sanded down, as you can see, the lighter edge, and now it just very easily shuts, no problem. It has beautiful seam. I just need to cut out the holes for the latch and the deadbolt, and then we'll have a shutting door. Got the stairs welded up, probably as much as I'm gonna weld them. All of these long seams are welded besides that one, but that one's just a toe board, so it doesn't really matter. But I got that. These sides, since there's kind of a gap there, I just put some nice sturdy tack spots all the way down the sides, but they're also welded all the way up. It's not going anywhere. Right? I'll show you that, and this whole frame is welded in the bus, so that's all good. So I think the stairs are all set. I'm just gonna clean them up and paint them while it's still warm out, and then we need to make a frame for this door so it seals at the bottom and the top, which I learned at the top, a 2x4 just about works. It's a little bit uneven, so there's a bit of a gap in the spot, so I might go a little bit less than a 2x4 so I can put a gasket up in there, but we'll see. But other than that, I just need a door stopper, keep it from pushing too far in, but that should be pretty simple. I just got a very messy part of the job done, but since it's warm out and relatively dry, it's a little wet, but I disconnected the rear heater finally. I didn't do it the best way possible, but for now, let's see if I can get you a good view, but you see right there, it's looped around, so those two hard lines go up to the engine and loop around. I could not find a good spot to cap them off of there. Maybe down the line I could. And I know that that hose solution is not a great solution because it is kind of kinked. So I need like a little bit longer hose, but that required 0 parts. I just disconnected one of the original clamps, cut the original hose a little bit further back, and I clamped it off so that there wasn't any, I wasn't draining it all. So there should be like only a little air bubble, if that, in the system from this whole procedure. So I clamped the hose on both sides, cut it so that no fluid was moving, and then I quickly disconnected the other line and then put the cut in on there with a clamp so that it recirculated, unclamped all the hoses. I cut them up here, and then I also cut them back here because I don't want to have to finagle with pulling them all around. So they're now cut. I caught as much coolant as I could. A little bit did get on the ground, but a little bit ain't gonna hurt. So at this point, I already cut the power lines to this as well, because like I said, those come up from below. So, and I just tilted this up, cut those power lines there, which is just one fan, the other fan. And those two lines, I couldn't do this any cleaner because it's all freaking expanding foam underneath holding this whole thing in. So I have to do this like a down and dirty way, unless I want to take this whole freaking cage apart and meticulously unwire and unplumb it. So yeah, I'm just doing brute force method at this point because I want to get it out. And so as you can see, those hoses are now on the ground because apparently they go on the hard lines at a certain point, right at the bottom, and they expanding foamed all over the top of it. So I wasn't going to be fucking with that. I don't want to spill coolant all over the place. So yeah, that's the freaking heater core out finally. So yeah, currently I'm gonna get the screws for this cover thing off. I'm reaching all the way back over. You can see, it's just the easiest way to get to it, I guess. I got tired of fucking around, so I found out. Yeah. Okay, so we got some screws up there for that part. And then what about this part? This part must just be fucking screwed to the goddamn roof, which is goddamn retarded. Alright, well I guess I'm gonna cut up to those lines, and then I don't know, I'm gonna have to cut this fucking piece out, obviously, because it ain't gonna, I'm not gonna unbolt it from the roof. That's not gonna happen. Well, that was funny. I just unbolted all that. I started prying up here and I got this corner off and I stepped back for a second and the whole thing just fell down. So that worked out. I just ended up cutting it around the AC because this thing must have been built like in with the bus, because it is like integral. You know, they freaking screwed it from the top of the roof down in. So that's a little odd, because you'd think you'd want to be able to get back there for service and stuff, but apparently not. But that is out of the way. The only thing left up here is really the AC and the AC lines, and honestly, if I cut this piece here, I can probably just put the AC on the ground if I wanted to. We'll see. This is where I'm at so far. I got all that back stuff stripped down. I got all the fiberglass pulled up. Brake lights are exposed, which are gonna have to get replaced on some of them. That side's good, but this side, the edges are curling up on them. I don't know if I can show you. You can kind of see it, but yeah, no, at least a couple of those lights will have to get replaced. It looks like some are already replaced. Heater core's out. I think tonight what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna seal up those holes from the heater core. Seal up those holes in the back of the bus, which are some random bolts. I don't really know what they went to. Maybe it was lights or something. I have no idea, but there was something bolted up there. And those bolts are just hanging there because there's nothing bolted to it anymore. But I'm gonna seal those up just like the side holes, and then I'll do those bottom ones. I still have more of that black sealer stuff left, so it works out. But yeah, we're pretty much ready to put the subfloor in, minus pulling all the styrofoam at the bottom and leveling out those cavities with spray foam. But I wanted to do it all at once, so when I crack a can of spray foam, I can seal all of these at the same time. With the extra daylight I had, I stripped out all the stuff from up here. This can be a storage cavity at some point, or be perfect for stuff for the entryway, so like gloves, hats, stuff like that. Eventually this will be framed up a little bit right here, so there'll be a partial privacy wall with a coat rack, so that you can hang your coats up right here as you come in. That'll be the shoe rack area where you put your shoes and where I store all my shoes. And I guess up here can be winter hats, baseball caps, and miscellaneous stuff like that, gloves, whatever else I want to quickly store up here. So yeah, that could be decent. I also started pulling parts off of this and getting this dismantled, since well, we don't have school bus doors anymore, so there is no need for this to be in my way, blocking up all this space. So I'll get this whole main bracket probably pulled out tomorrow. I found the screws back there, so those just get popped off, and then these will probably have to get cut off because I doubt I'll be able to get them out properly. Same thing with those, which one of them already looks like it's loose. Or it's not threaded in all the way, but it's not loose, so those will likely have to get cut off. But we can get this freaking thing out of the way, and then we can open up all these cup holders, and this will be easy to pull in and out, even with the seat in position and everything. So yeah, I think it's really looking good. We're almost at a really good base. We still need to strip a little bit of the roof. We have lots of styrofoam to remove, which I'm just not ready to do yet. So I think this is going to be the end of episode 10, I want to say. So if it is, thanks for watching. I appreciate the support, and I hope you are enjoying or learning something along the way. Thanks for following along. We are almost at the good part. Very close. We're probably like, I don't know, one or two more episodes away from being at the good stuff, which is installing the goodies and doing the actual conversion. I mean, we've semi started with like the front door, but currently it's been a lot of demolition, not a lot of building. So that should be changing real soon.